All right, Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim, Rakak, Kwadash. I want to give double honors to my apostles and elders, Great Millstone, who teach very well. While not this truth from and salutation out there to the hopeful elect, who continue to push this word in all truth, faith, and sincerity. And also, shalom to the men, women, and children who sincerely believe upon the words of Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai. And on today, man, just basically getting on the money crashing. Because for the lack of better words, these Americans never thought that the dollar was going to end. You thought the almighty dollar was going to reign supreme for forever. But no, man. For the lack of better words, what's going to happen? These devils, they're going to cash down this petrodollar system and end up pushing forth a digital system, man, which will make way for the MOTB, man, and we can see little bits and parts of it by the way of your credit card having the tap, having the RF to the I to the D technology in it. Your phone have the R to the F to the I to the D technology in it, and the ultimate goal is to put that technology inside of you, man. And one major way these devils are going to try to persuade you to take that thing is money. With the pandemic, they said yeah, cash it spread germs for centuries, for decades, for forever. People been doing transactions with gold and silver, and hand to hand transactions. This is going to be the only system that's going to push forth a digital transaction, man. Which meaning what? Your money, your medical records, your social security, all it's going to be tracked by damn the web, man. The for the lack of better words, what Esau called it, he called it the Almighty Cloud, because that's how these devils are going to try to play the Most High, by having complete control over you, having complete control over your finances, having complete control where you can go or where you can stay, having complete control of what you put inside your body. You know, that's the ultimate goal of this devil. But it all starts with that money crashing, man. So let's read this real quick, because for the lack of better words, how these devils are going to push forth this different way of life is through a sense of desperation. It's a thing called order order out of chaos, man. Because when people say desperate times call for desperate measures, that's going to be literal, man, because people are going to be so desperate. This devil, he's going to come with a solution with a tiny device that's going to make everything more simple. That's going to make everything more convenient. But the only thing it's going to be convenient for is your death, man. Let's get this real quick. This is the book of Sirach, 14 and verse 7. And if he do it good, he doeth it unwillingly. And right down, man. By the way, because brothers can see the article, it says U.S. recession forecast hit 100%. Now, right there, it's basically saying that yeah, the money gonna crash, no doubt about it. Ain't no maybe 75. It said 100%. The money is gonna crash 100%. That we're in a recession, we're in a downfall. But why did all those things happen? By the way, a stimulus check, by the way, of the pandemic, and again, it's not like these events was random. There's no such thing as a consequence. All these events was the spirit of the Lord putting the spirit on Esau to set forth these different plans for the NWO, man. So let's read this again. It says, if he doeth good, he doeth it unwittingly. So if he come out say, yeah, we're going to give you a stimulus check, yeah, we're going to give you free money, ultimately it's unwillingly, man. Continuing on, it says, and at the last, he would declare his wickedness, because it's a sinister plot behind it. Whether it be from, yeah, I'm trying to get you jabbed up, or whether it be, what do you have for me, man? Because at the end of the day, again, for centuries, decades, and millenniums, the white men have always been the devil, man. But now you're going to see the devil in his perfection by the way of him being in a desperate situation, man. Again, like the elder brother always bring out, the elder brother Aram with a porcupine. He cool and chill, but as soon as he get cornered, he's gonna pull up those thorns that come up with a sense of protection. That's the same thing with Esau. He can see that Yahweh Shai is coming. He can see that he don't have that same pull that he had 40, 50 years ago. He can see the downfall of his kingdom. So he's going to do any and everything to try to hold on to it. Let's read a little bit of this article because this is a perfect example that the kingdom of Esau is falling. U.S. recession forecast hit 100%. Bloomberg. An economic downturn is near certain within the next 12 months. So within the next 12 months, the dollar is going to do a nosedive. And you can see it now. I seen silver. You look at the price of silver, it's $18, man. And it's been, fluctuating a lot, but it's low than what it's been in a while, man. But that's basically the setup for it to skyrocket. Because I wouldn't be surprised if silver come down to $15, and the next day you look at silver is 40, and then the next day you look at it is 80. Because again, for the lack of better words, the real true value is gold and silver, and the petrodollar, the oil dollar, for the lack of better words, is losing its lust. It's losing its power because again, Russia, they have their new currency, China have the yuan, and these different currencies are backed up about gold and silver. And I think the yuan, that's a digital currency, man. But now they're going to try to push forth a world digital currency. Let's continue on though. It says the U.S. is 100% certain to enter into a recession in the next 12 months. And what's out there is a recession. And the next thing after a recession is with a depression, man. Which means what? A high is inflation. That's a recession. But hyperinflation, that's going to be the depression, man. Which means what? $500 for a loaf of bread, man. And you come back tomorrow, it's 1,000. Let's continue on. Let's read a little bit of this. It says, within the next 12 months, according to an economic model devised by two Bloomberg economists and ran based on 13 unspecified financial indicators on Monday, just today, what's even worse is that the apparently inevitable downturn might come even sooner than that. Our salvation is sooner than we believe, because it says within that 12 months. That 12 months could be a month. That 12 months could be 3 months. That 12 months can be 3 weeks. Whatever that's within those 12 months. So any day now, the recession or the economy can do a major downturn. And we all seen the Dow down nose diving and coming up, then nose diving again. And these devils, they're trying to put money in the economy to make it look good. But for the lack of better words, all those different band-aids is not working anymore, man. The only solution now is for that balloon to pop. Let's continue on though. It says the model returned a 73% chance it will hit within 11 months and a 25% chance it will arrive within 10. Those outcomes were slightly more grim than the last time Bloomberg ran the model when it predicted a recession within a year, just 65% certainly. Is definitely gloomier than the predictions of Joe Biden, who have insisted the U.S. will avoid the recession so many great economists seem to think is lurking right around the corner. If there is a recession at all, Biden said it will be very slight. And you put your hand, your trust in the guy Biden who, if he don't take his medicine that morning, it's gonna be a wild day, man. So you shouldn't put your trust in what Esau said, because he's saying, yeah, we okay, we all good, but you're suffering with a grievous wound, man. You're suffering with erectile dysfunction because this place is not rising up, man. Let's get this real quick in Isaiah 24. This is the book of Isaiah 24, and I'm gonna start at verse 4. It says, the earth mourneth and fadeth away. The world languisheth and fadeth away. The heart of people of the earth do languisheth. Yes, it says the earth mourneth and fadeth away, which meaning what? It's losing its weakness. It's losing its strength and going towards weakness. It says the world languisheth and fadeth away. Let's look at that word languish. The word languisheth, to be weak, to droop, to languish, to be exhausted, to be weak, to grow feeble. So back in the 1950s, America, they was on top. And ever since after that, 1969, they was growing feeble, man. Even though they had like a little chokehold during the 80s and stuff like that, the Cold War. Little things like that at the end of the day is inevitable for this devil to get weak and just die off, man. You know? Let's read this again. Isaiah 24 and verse 4 again. It says, the earth mourneth and faileth away. The world languisheth and faileth away. To grow weak, to grow feeble, and faileth away. The hardy people of the earth do languish. And who are the hardy people? First and foremost, Esau, Edom, but also two-thirds of our people that trust in this society. Continuing on. Therefore, hath the curse devoured the whole earth, and they that dwell therein are desolate. Yeah, you're comfortable in this place. Ultimately, you're going to be getting the same judgment as this place, which is what? The desolation, destruction. Continuing on. The inhabitants of the earth are slacking. I skipped the verse, my bad, Akim. It says, the earth is defiled under the inhabitants thereof, because he have transgressed the laws, changed the ordinance, broken the everlasting covenant. And that's really talking about Esau. It says, the earth is defiled under the inhabitants thereof. The earth is given into the hand of the wicked, which is what the so-called white man. And guess what? He's ruling the planet Earth, and we can see what happened when he ruled. Wars happen, death happened, bloodshed, chemical warfare, biological warfare, social media warfare on all levels, man, because he's a violent man. But this will happen when Esau ruled. Let's continue on. Therefore, hath the curse defiled the whole earth, and they that are dwell, then they that dwell therein are desolate. Yes, they that is in the same mindset. You're going to be desolate. Therefore, the inhabitants of the earth are burned, and few men left. The new wine mourneth, the vine languisheth, all the merry-hearted do sigh. Because guess what? People that can go to the bars, you can watch college football, sit back and have a good time. Guess what? Those times of America, those times of the past, when everything was all good, hey, it's gonna be long gone, man. I remember in the book of Eli, he said that he was like, yeah, the thing in the past, people took that for granted. It's gonna get to a point when that water, just from a turn of a faucet, that water is not going to come out no more. From a flip of that switch, that light is not going to come on no more. From a tap of an app, that DoorDashes would not deliver anymore. Why? Because the Spirit of the Lord is breaking this place down. And that's why it says all the merry-hearted do sigh. Because, hey, for the lack of better words, these Americans have no care in the world, man. They think they're untouchable. They think nobody can come to them. They even you going to the interviews, the UK people, what the UK people think about America. What do the Irish people think about America? What do the people in Dubai think about America? It be the same thing. We hate them niggas, man. For the lack of better words. Because the whole world have begun to hate this place, man. And why? Do they hate this place because you ain't give me your, you ain't share your chicken with me? No, they hate this place because of the action. You go into a country, you bombing the hell and back, and then you come back like everything's fine. You police the whole world in wickedness. One perfect movie that shows that is Team America, man. Even though it was a puppet show, it shows every time these damn devils try to help out, they just make shit worse, man. Let's continue on though. It says, the mirth of the tabret ceaseth, the noise of them that rejoiceth endeth. Yes. It's going to get to a point where you're not going to hear people rejoice over a football game or rejoice because of LeBron James or rejoice because of the MTV Music Awards. Hey, all this going to be thrown behind closed doors. It's going to be thrown out the window. When you hungry, you ain't going to give a fuck about LeBron James, man. When you ain't got no digital credits left, you're not going to give a fuck about Beyonce, man. And that's the time that we're coming in. It says the joy of the heart ceases. Yes, you're not going to be playing, why can't we be friends? You're not going to be playing these different songs, man. You're going to be playing songs, I'm hungry, man. Let's continue on. It says they should not drink wine with a song. Strong drink shall be bitter to them that drink, because you're going to try to drink away the pain, but you're not going to be able to drink away the plagues that the Lord has sent upon this place. Continuing on in verse 10, though. The city of confusion is broken down. Every house is shut up that no man may come in. And that city is confusion is actually talking about America. Because once you go into the word confusion, that word confusion actually goes back into what? Babal, man. And that's what this place represents, confusion, man. But at the same time, it said it is shell up, man. For the lack of better words, when you go into the retail apocalypse or the stores, these American stores that had a grip upon the planet Earth, hey, they're not even fucking with these Americans no more. Because why? Everybody have realized that these Americans are nothing but full of shit, man. They realize that this guy is nothing but an evil and mischievous man, you know? And that's why Sears shut down. That's why J.C. Penney stores are shutting down. Toys R Us. That's why these different big box stores are falling, because the spirit of the Lord is making this thing happen. The spirit of the Lord is hitting this devil with a grievous blow, man. Let's go ahead and see. Let's read a little bit more on it. On this article. Let's see, where is it? Yep, here you go. It says inflation continues to hover near its 4-decade high. Yes, back in the 70s, I remember they used to have, like, I wasn't born back then, but I was looking at a documentary. It got to a point when people couldn't afford different Fruit Loops, and when you go to the store, it's just generic shit, man. For lack of better words, like that Great Value meal, Great Value Walmart brand, that's how it's gonna be, for lack of better words, because you're not going to be able to afford those Fruit Loops or those Captain Crunches, man. They $1.50 difference, or that 50-cent different. Hey, it's gonna be it's gonna be major then, man. Pork. A pack of pork chops is $30, but a pack of steaks is $172, man. That's gonna be the different inflation that's gonna happen, man. Because again, it says it's a 4-decade high, but it comes to a recession. But a recession, if it gets worse, it's going to go back into what? A depression, which is going to lead into what? Hyperinflation. When you have to use a whole wheelbarrow full of money just to get a loaf of bread. Continuing on, inflation continues to hover near its 4-decade high, even as the Fed have repeatedly hiked rates in effort to rein the soaring cost of living. While Biden has hyped job numbers in hope of giving voters something positive to credit him for it's like, I'm gonna give you a job, man. Just give me some credit. Hey, they give you the credit for fucking everything up too, man. Yeah, they give you credit for opening up the jobs, but they give you credit for fucking things up. It says hoping that some voters will give him credit it's like him credit. It's like credit for economically, insisting Washington's finances are strong as hell, and it's the rest of the world that has problems. And really, all these global currencies are falling. Why? Because they can lead to a digital currency, a world digital currency, which is going to be ran through that Corona. Continuing on, his presidency has left a large hole in the country finances, and that's the spirit. It reminds me of that Haggai. You put your matter of fact, let's get it, man. Because Howard Shaka said way better than I can, man. Because it says he have left a large hole in the economy, but that's biblical policy even for us, man. Jake's struggling day to day. You know what I'm saying? Getting your daily bread, but at the end of the day, now Esau's suffering. Esau's struggling. Esau can't pay the bills, man. It's gonna get to a point when Esau light's gonna get cut off. Let's get this in the book of Haggai 1. Yep, Haggai 1 and verse 6. Ye have sown much and bring in little. Ye eat, but ye have not enough. And yes, man, you can work 60 hours a week, a 60-hour week, man. But it get to a point on the east side, he take out taxes. Then he take out this, that, and the third, and all of a sudden now you got debt you have to pay for. You got child support and shit like that. That's why I says you have so much, you work your ass off, but you bring in little. You eat, but you have not enough. You might have a $20 hour job, but you don't. It's still not enough to suffice yourself in Babylon, man. Because at the end of the day, if you don't own for lack of better words, no true resources, land and slaves, then you're basically poor, man. It says, ye drink and ye are not filled with drink. Ye clothe, but there is none warm. And he that earneth wages to be put in a bag with holes, and that's it, man. Going back into this article, it says what his presidency have left a large hole in the country finances, and it's just not talking about the whole country as a whole, but even as the people. And I ain't talking just any other people. I'm talking about the people of Israel first, because that's who's going to affect first, man. These Edomites, they living off their old slave money. They living off grandparents' money. Hey, man, Jake be having to, live day by day. So when these things happen and hyperinflation happen, and when these devils come with a solution, it's gonna be Jake that's gonna be at the door first. Why? Because they trusted in this man. They trust in this system. Let's continue on. Since entering in the White House less than 3 years ago, Biden has added a whopping 3.37 trillion into his national debt, setting it to a record high of 31 trillion. So you already owe people some money. But now it's $31 trillion, and when you go into it, it's really like 600 trillion, damn near almost $700 trillion that these devils actually owe. And number one, who you owe? For lack of better words, who do a country owe? A whole, who you paying? The bankers, the higher ups, the elites, man. The ones who's controlling this. Because again, it's a necessary evil what these devils are doing. They're doing this to basically make way for their charagma. Let's get this real quick. This is the book of Zephaniah 1 and verse 10. And this shall come to pass in that day, saith the Lord, there shall be the noise of a cry from the fish gate, and a howling from the second, and a great crashing from the hills. And what is this talking about? This talking about an economic crash, man. Because again, you go into the Great Depression around the 1930s and shit like that, 1931, 1932. Starting around 1928, which shows you it was a build up for that downfall. But at the end of the day, when that happened, people was crying because they had stocks invested in the country. People was committing suicide because they had their whole life invested in that country. People was dying of a famine because all the money they had invested in this country, it left. And they couldn't get it back, so they couldn't suffice their next meal. But this was the spirit of the Lord breaking this place down, man. Even though, and again, 1930s is not going to compare what's happening now, man. Because now people are, for lack of better words, now it's GMOs, it's chemicals now that Esau can push forth that make you hungry. It's chemicals now that make you addicted to Chick-fil-A and McDonald's. So it's going to be 10 times worse, man. That sneakers commercial, when you're angry, you're not yourself. That's going to be made manifest in the times that we're coming into. Let's continue on though. It says, "How ye inhabitants of Maktish." Now, when you go into the land of Maktish, there was a merchant city. And basically, it is no coincidence why the world stock market is placed up there in New York. That's the modern day land of Maktish. How ye inhabitants of Maktish, which America as a whole, but that central Wall Street, that central place, that's a place of merchants, man. When people buy, sell, and trade. It's going to get to a point where you're not going to have nothing to buy, sell, and trade unless you have that digital thing, man. Continuing on, how ye inhabitants of Maktish, for all the merchant people are cut down, all they that bear silver are cut off. So all they that invested in this place, all they that was doing well in this society, is going to get to a point you're going to get cut off unless you have that thing inside you, man. Because again, it's evident, it's 100% chance that the U.S. economy will crash, man. It's 100% chance that we're entering into recession, and it's 100% chance that recession will enter into a depression, man, which is just going to lead into hyperinflation. That's going to lead into higher bills, higher rent, higher food. You know what I'm saying? Basically a higher cost of living. And these devils, they're going to come with a solution. Again, they're going to come with that solution. Yeah, if you want to live, if you want to eat, I got you. As long as you have this thing inside you, man. Because again, this digital charagma system cannot be put in full effect unless the petrodollar is done away with. You know? So it's a necessary evil. Yeah, Akim. So I pray this video was edifying. When say call Halayim La Yahweh, Ba'ashim, Yahweh Shah, Ba'ashim Makakwadash, Shalom, DTA, and a Baba Ball.